Hello and welcome back to another video, and today guys I'm going to be doing a summary of my Minecraft 1.17 survival series. So there's 19 episodes in the series and a lot happened. For example, a lot happened. So I did everything I wanted to do, like I got a full set of netherite armor, I beat the ender dragon, I also built a house out of the new 1.17 blocks, built an actual little pond, and also got the elytra and a lot of other stuff as well. And yeah, instead of merging all this video together, I'm going to do it in different parts. So for example, this video is going to be Minecraft 1.17 survival summary of my Minecraft 1.17 survival series part 1. The next will be part 2. Or you say, for example, you say if it stretches out to part 3 or part 3 final. So that's basically how I'm going to do it. I don't want to merge or anything. So anyway, let's get into the summary. On episode 1, I loaded in and I was spawned in a tree. I looked around the area and there was a first forest around me, and there was also plains biome around me. I made a dirt tower to mark my spawn. Later on, I crafted a crafting table and started crafting some basic tools. Found the ruined portal. The loot was okay, but not the best. I found some coal and started to mine it, because obviously you need coal in this game. After wandering around for a little bit, I was getting desperate on food. I killed some sheep, and as you can see, I had some food, which is pretty epic. You know, I don't know why, but in Bedrock Edition, oh god, you lose food so fast. And yeah, that's what I just did, is I killed a load of sheep and got some food. Later on, I crafted a bed and I went to sleep to avoid all of the mobs. When I woke up, I started to look around the mountain area and started planning out where my base would be. I didn't place any blocks, but I wanted to build it on top of the mountain. I mined more coal and found a goat, one of the new 1.17 mobs. I was exploring mountains and areas which I haven't explored for a bit, and tried and looked for a village and some resources. It was becoming night again, so I had to sleep, and I slept beside this ravine which I was eventually going to go in. But before I went into the ravine, I needed to kill some more sheep. I decided to go into the spruce forest, or also known as the tiger biome, and witnessed a wolf kill a sheep. I found a pillager outpost and I wanted to loot it. But some pillagers found me first and I had to run. As you can see here, this was almost my first death of the series, but luckily I escaped in time. I jumped into the ravine to try and find some iron, but sadly all I found was emerald, which I couldn't mine because I didn't have an iron pickaxe, and redstone. I cut my losses and built out of the ravine, but it was night. The next day I carried on exploring, trying to look for a village, but I still had no hope. I found another ruined portal, but sadly I didn't have the resources to mine the blocks of gold. I finally found a decent cave at last, and yeah, just saw a load of coal. And finally found my first, oh, I thought I was iron a minute ago. I finally found my first copper of the series, and I mined some of that. Also there was some iron neighbour in it. I was going around the cave mining for iron, and obviously iron, as you know, iron doesn't drop as ore anymore, it drops as scrap, which you have to smelt, more realistic. I carried on mining iron, but I didn't want to go deeper into the cave because there was mobs around. As you can see, there's a skeleton right there. I created a furnace and started smelting my iron and grabbed some more coal as well. And while I was waiting for the iron to smelt, I was looking in the crafting menu to see if there was candles, but it seems like candles are not in Bedrock. And yeah, I started to make some iron tools, like a pickaxe, a sword, and that sort of stuff. As you can see, just making the normal Minecraft stuff, and yeah, just getting organised. After I left the cave with some decent iron and tools, and also almost a full set of armour, I carried on looking for a village, but still no hope. I found another cave. Yeah, I didn't go too deep into it because yet again I just don't want to die. So I was going around the cave just looking for a little bit of iron. I found a little bit of iron in the cave, and then I went to smelt some food, which I gathered from the sheep later on, and made a bit of food and carried on exploring around. Later on, I realised that I walked in a massive circle. I actually walked back to my spawn. I was quite annoyed. Went into another cave and found some of the new dripstone, and I also found a little bit of iron in there too, as you can see. And finally, at long last, I found a village. But in this episode, I didn't explore it, but I did find one amazing thing. I found some glow squids, one of the new 1.17 mobs, which I, for some reason, am very obsessed with them. I placed some, like, my bed down and also a furnace and sort of stuff down as well. And yeah, I just kept looking at the glow squids, and that's basically the end of the episode. As you can see, like, just making everything looked good around it. Not really, but just placed the bed down and sleep in it. Basically, that was the end of episode 1. I just looked at the glow squids and left the game. That's the end of episode 1. The start of episode 2, I put all my iron in the furnace to start smelting it, and I started exploring the village. I went into the blacksmith, and here is what I got. I got 3 diamonds and some obsidian and some armor. I carried on looting the village, and then I came back to my iron and yeah, finished off my set of iron armor. I noticed there's a few houses I missed, so I had a little exploring in some of them. Gathered some potatoes and some hay bales, which are very useful for bread. I'm just too lazy to build a farm, so I always just live off bread in series. You know that from a fact, guys. I gathered some wood because I wanted to go down to my first 1.17 cave. Which, spoiler alert, sadly caves are not with the new generation yet. I found a trident drowned and just left him in the water because I didn't want to die. As you can see, I was getting prepared for the for a cave, just getting some more tools and stuff. Later on, I finally made it into a cave. I need to summarize this bit quite quickly because there's a lot I did. I kept going down, seeing lava, but no diamonds yet. I keep going further down, seeing lava and glow liking everywhere, and also these new, like, dripstone. I gathered some more iron and glow liking, you get the idea. Basically what I did, guys, for the next 20 minutes was just mining iron, redstone and coal and trying to look for diamonds. Later on, I think I dug into another cave and found a abandoned mine shaft. I started to explore and I found a minecart chest. And I got some items, like some diamonds, some glowberries, and that's really it. I didn't really do anything with the glowberries in the series, and a golden apple. Later on, I kept finding loads of zombies, and I thought there could be a dungeon nearby. And for once, I was actually right. But the loot wasn't that good. I kept looking around the mine shaft, trying to look for diamonds, but still no luck. I managed to find some gold when I was strip mining. Later on, I found another dungeon, but it was another zombie one. In the chest, there's a bit of gold and some music discs. In one chest I found a Blast Protection 4 book and a Piercing 3. Spoiler alert, there was a bug in the game where diamonds were rarer and also they only spawned in 1s and 2s, so I actually didn't find any diamonds on this trip. You get the idea. I just mined and explored the mine shaft over and over. Done some strip mining at deep slate level, still couldn't find anything, and that was basically it for episode 2. The start of episode 3, I started exploring the mineshaft cave even more, and I found more of it. Later on, I was walking around the mineshaft, and I managed to find a cave spider spawner, which I stayed well away from. Well, actually, this looks like I'm just trying to... Yeah, actually, no, I went down it to see if there's anything at the end of the tunnel. And by the way, I don't think there was. Actually, there was some lapis at the end. Pretty nice. As you can see in my inventory right now, I had a lot of iron, a lot of gold. This series, I got a lot of gold. I was just mining gold and everything, but I still couldn't find any more diamonds. Couldn't find any diamonds, so I decided to mine out of the cave. I made it back to spawn using my compass, and I started making a base of operation. And I was just dumping all my stuff in it, and later on, I noticed that a player joined my game, so I left the game to kick him, because I don't want anyone to steal my stuff. And basically, this is my starter base, I guess, and this, yeah. Yeah, I decided to craft a couple of stuff as well, you know, a bucket, a shield maybe. Here I was messing around with the deep slate. I decided to craft a stone cutter to mess around with the new deep slate textures and see what one I wanted to use in my house. I went back to the village because I wanted to tame my ultimate cat, IKEA Cat. Obviously, like in the first series, IKEA Cat was a pain. But later on, I got hurt. And later on, I tamed another cat, which I named Mr. Paws. And I sort of made them breed by mistake, and they made a baby cat, and I named the baby cat Baby Poo-Poo the Cat. By the way, I dyed IKEA Cat's collar blue as usual, Mr. Paws' collar yellow, and also Baby Poo-Poo's collar pink. Done a bit of exploring and found another village, looted it, got some okay stuff, and also gathered all the hay bales. As you can see, hay bales are the best. Also stole some bookshelves. Later on, I found another village which was near the ocean. It was quite a cool village. I looted the blacksmith, but it had okay loot in it. I had a little look in the ocean to see if I could find any axolotls, because obviously I didn't know that they could not spawn in oceans anymore. But yeah, I had a little look around, but there was none. I unzipped my caps and we started heading back to spawn. I made it back to the first village, but sadly I ran out of time, so I had to end the episode. The start of episode 4, I started walking and we finally made it back to the spawn, and yeah, I sat all the cats down and I wanted to push them into a corner. I decided that I wanted to go back to the ocean so I could find an amethyst geode for my house. I found another village on the way as well. It was near a swamp, pretty cool. I fell into this ravine and almost died. There was also a mine shaft connected to it, but luckily I got out and carried on exploring. I found a random axolotl just walking around, and I wondered what on earth was it doing. And I jumped into the water, and there was glow squids. Epic. I finally made it to the ocean, and I managed to find what I was looking for, an amethyst geode. So basically what I wanted this for was 1, the spyglass, 2, all the amethyst blocks so I can use it on my house, and 3, the calcite. I started mining all of the amethyst up, and I managed to get a stack and like 20, I think, stack and a half or something. I'm telling you, when you walk on amethyst, it just sounds so good. And yeah, I grabbed a load of calcite as well, about a stack of calcite, and I left, and some amethyst shards as well. After I was done with the amethyst, I tamed another cat and named it Belgian Billy. Look at the white cat. I had to go get more fish, but later on I tamed it. I wrote a random sign and named it Pooh because I wanted to try and use the ink sac, but for some reason it wasn't working. I wrote a sign saying "Power of Baby Poo Poo," and I put a dial on it, and it actually worked. It was glowing. I was also I was drowned with a trident there, but it worked. I finally made it back home, and all the cats were together. I crafted a spyglass for the first time, and I used it. I absolutely loved it. I was just looking at everything, including sheep, minding their own business. I basically took the spyglass out for a spin and just started looking at everything. I wanted to look at the pillagers with a spyglass and see how cool that would look. I was just making my way back to the pillager outpost. This time I didn't get too close to go and kill them. But yeah, in fact, I think I did. I don't remember. But anyway, this is basically what I did. In fact, actually, I just looked. I went to go to the pillager outpost to go and loot it. And as you can see, there's the pillager captain. I started digging my way in. I looted the chest, but it was awful. So I jumped down, MLG'd water bucket, and the pillagers were chasing. As you can see, I was running for my life, seeing all the Reginald pumpkins. You have to watch a YouTuber. I forgot his name, but I was running for the pillagers. Things were getting very intense, but luckily I was okay. They're literally still chasing me. Even they were chasing me in the water. Like, literally, they wanted my butt. And as the sun set, that was basically the end of episode 4. And something did happen, which is kind of funny. I actually witnessed another murder, you know. I witnessed a wolf killing a fox. That was kind of evil, but that's the end of episode 4. The start of episode 5, I didn't have a bed, so I had to go in the night. And chop wood in the night. Basically, what I did is I wanted to get some spruce saplings and some spruce wood ready for my house. Things were intense. I didn't almost die, but things were just always around the corner. Skeletons, zombies, creepers. And then a thunderstorm started happening, and 2 of the rarest things happened in this thunderstorm. For some reason, I was trying to get a music disc when I actually ran into a charged creeper. I have not seen one of these in survival for years. I was trying to lure it to the skeleton because I wanted to get a skeleton head. That's basically what I wanted to do. Skeleton heads are one of my favorite mobs heads ever. As you can see, I was trying to lure it towards me so it would blow up the skeleton. It was a tricky job, but there was 2 skeletons. And finally, I lured the creeper, and it was time for me to get my skeleton head. Yeah, come here, blue boy. This is a thing I actually forgot about in the series, but boom, 3 skeleton head, baby. There it was. And not just that, I found a skeleton tramp horse, which spawned into some skeleton horsemen. Things were getting dangerous. I had an army of zombies and skeleton horsemen. They were difficult. Actually, they weren't very difficult, but I wanted to kill all of the horses except one because I wanted my own tramp horse. They were dangerous, but I got them. And yeah, I actually got my own skeleton horse, which are really rare. I rode my skeleton horse home and I named it Boney. I finally made it back home to my beautiful cats, and I laid in bed. And by the way, at some point I made a copper block and put it on the floor. It was finally time to start my house, and I started doing a bit of terraforming. I planted a tree, and I wanted to have a tree house in this series, but I decided that this tree was too short, so I wanted to plant another tree on top of it. And that is exactly what I did. I had the ultimate tree. Went to grab some more ladders and some leaves, and I started work on my tree house. Things were looking good. I wanted a little barrier of leaves to protect me while I was climbing up so no phantoms or any skeletons would knock me off. Sorry how blurry this video is, it's just my phone is so bad. And that's what the tree looks like. It wasn't rendered in for some reason, it will any second now. And this is how big the tree looked. It was time to get the amethyst floor in. I wanted the floor to be out of amethyst, and if you didn't know, if you walk on amethyst, it makes this beautiful crystal sound. And after a little bit, it was finished. It wasn't the biggest house ever. I didn't want this to be the biggest house ever. I wanted it to be quite small, but this was basically, yeah, this is basically the size of my house. Like I said, I wanted to put some calcite into it, and that's what I did. And yeah, I wanted to put a bit more calcite in it as well, just because this is 1.17. Filled it in some areas with some wood. And the place was looking quite good. I was hollowing out some windows and where would the balcony would be. And I obviously put a trapdoor down, so yeah. And this was the first foundations of my house, and that was the end of episode 5. Start of episode 6, I killed an enderman, and yeah, while trying to ride my horse up the mountain. Today was the day where I was gonna almost finish my house for good. I went out and done a bit of enderman grinding. By the way, I did manage to get 1 ender pearl. I went up to my new house and slept in the bed. Then I went back down to my spawn area and grabbed a couple of resources for my house, like sand for glass. I leashed Boney the horse on this little pole, and dyed my bed red. I started to create my balcony, which was what actually, after I ended the series, was one of my favourite parts of the house. And this is basically what it looked like at the moment. I was trying to figure out a design for my bed area, and I started making the front of my balcony look quite cool. Started putting some glass in, and things were looking quite cool. And you can see the sunset perfectly, and I also added some fencing around the balcony. I decided to have the floor of my balcony made out of glass so I could look down, and yeah, that's basically, I do not regret that at all. I think it looks absolutely amazing. I'm so glad I came up with that design. Went back down to the bottom and grabbed some more resources. This is, as you can see, that's my house on top of the mountain. I wanted to put my skeleton head on top of the crafting table. And yeah, I made a little furnace area as well and started putting stuff in. This is basically what it's looking at the moment. But I had to get deep slate for a roof, so that finishing the roof took a while, a couple of episodes. I started making the foundations of the roof before the deep slate. And it looked quite dark in the room, and I decided that I wanted to make a balcony, a little attic in the roof as well. And yeah, basically I was just sorting out how I wanted things in the house. I was figuring out how I wanted to have the balcony. I decided that I can't access the I can't access the attic from the bottom, so I had to make an entrance at the top to get into the attic. By mistake, I used an axe to carve some of the wood on the front. As you can see, it's sort of, okay, let me show this. As you can see, I stripped the front of the house by accident. I actually thought that looked quite cool, and I left it there. I put a ladder down, and that's how, the reason why I was putting ladders on the front of my balcony is because I wanted to get to the top, up and down to the roof so I can get into the balcony, into the stupid attic. I went to go and gather some vines for the attic. I wanted it to look overgrown. And here I was in my new attic, which I was trying to figure out a design so I could fit in it. I managed to figure out a way to get in and out very easily. Eventually, this whole roof would be deep slate stairs, so I was just trying to figure out the design, and I thought it looked a bit too normal, so I wanted to have it overgrown. I wanted it to be dark and overgrown, so I used redstone torches. Instead of chests, I used barrels. I was working out designs. It took me a while, but I finally decided where I'm going to put the barrels and that stuff and how I'm going to organise it. I'm still working it right at this second. After I finally finished, I started lighting up the place with redstone torches to make it more like dark and evil inside and like it's not been touched for a long time. And finally it was time for the vines, which made it look really overgrown. And this was the final design, which looked great. I was just moving stuff around and I think it looked pretty cool. And in the attic, where I was going to keep all my valuable items. And that's my new house, I guess. I know it's not fully complete yet, but soon it will be. I wanted to put some glow lighting on my tree to make it look more cool, and I wanted to put some on the mountain, for Boney. I was still organising where things were going in my house. I started climbing down my treehouse, and I went down to the bottom, and something tragic happened. A creeper blew up the bottom of my area, and I had to go back, getting a load of dirt, loads of wood, loads of leaves to fix it. You don't really have to see that, so let's carry on. And later on, I finally fixed everything, as you can see. I wanted to go caving, so I was trying to look for some decent caves. And finally, I found a decent cave. And this was a massive cave. I got a lot of resources out of this cave. It went down super deep. When I was looking around the cave, I managed to find some glow squids, which are really cool. I don't know why I'm the only one which thinks the glow squids are cool. There are so many opportunities for diamonds. I found lapis, gold, and iron. But at long last, I managed to find a diamond and a diamond. I only found... In fact, no, actually no, I found two. I found 2 diamonds after long last, finally. And here they were, shiny as ever. Also found some more gold. I found so much gold in this cave. I don't know what it was, but so much gold. I had gold coming out of my ears in this series. Also managed to get my first axolotl. But by accident, I wanted to use it as a water bucket, and he sort of flew in. Yeah, he sort of like, you know, got swept away into the lava, as you will see in a minute. It was kind of sad. In fact, I don't even want to show you. That's how sad it was. In fact, I will. As you can see, off he goes. Goodbye, Axolotl. I wanted to mine some deep set up, ready for my house's roof, and yeah. This is a look at everything I have gotten so far in my inventory, guys. After mining some deep slit, I managed to find a couple more diamonds, as you can see, which is pretty epic. I managed to get myself a gold or yellow axolotl and also a pink one as well. And I managed to find some more diamonds, as you can see right there. And here were the diamonds. I'm telling you, deep slate diamonds look great. And basically that was the end of episode 7. At the start of episode 8, I dug out of that cave and I was back to the land. And there was my house, looking quite hairless without its roof. Get it? I crafted deep slate stairs and started putting them on my house. And yeah, I went into my storage room, or whatever, my valuable item room, just to put my stuff in, some valuable items, and in a minute you're going to see what the roof looks like on its full potential. And there it was. This is the roof. I think I'll show you more in detail later on, but you can sort of see it. And now I had the massive task to keep going backwards and forwards to move all my stuff from the little spawn area up to my house. It took a while, but I finally did it. And basically, this is what my house looked like from up there. Mojang had finally fixed the bug with the diamonds, so I wanted to go out to new chunks to see if I can find a new cave so I can find more diamonds. I found a village on the way as well. I found the ruined portal and I tried to get the gold block at the top, but for some reason I just couldn't. I had no, everything was just going wrong. As you can see, I kept falling down. I couldn't mine it in time, so I just left it. I finally found a decent cave and I was looking around for diamonds. The cave was massive. There could be diamonds anywhere. And talking about diamonds, there they were. You can see them at the corner of the screen. And they were a lot of diamonds, as you can see. Look at all those diamonds. There was lava underneath them. But then I mined them all up. And I did lose one. In fact, actually, I didn't lose any of the diamonds. I got them all. And yeah, you don't have to see me mine the diamonds up. Later on, I found even more diamonds. And then even more. I was really getting lucky with diamonds. And you thought it stopped there? Even more diamonds. I was just getting super lucky on diamonds, as you can see. And yeah. And this is me mining that up. Just let this focus in. After mining those diamonds up, guys, I had 14. And I decided to get some obsidian for a nether portal, which will be in the next episode. Later on, after I got the obsidian, I dug out of the cave. And there was my epic house. I could see it from a distance. Look how beautiful it looked. And when I put all my diamonds together, I had, ready? I'll just tell you, I had 21 diamonds. And that was the end of episode 8. The start of episode 9, I started preparing for the nether. For whatever reason, I returned back to the village. I'll work it out in a minute. I don't know why I returned back to the village, but yeah. Oh wait, no, this was a different village. Oh yeah, I remember what I did. Basically what I did is I went back to this village and wanted to get some arrows from a Fletcher. And that is what I did. And after I got a load of arrows, I rode back on Boney and rode back to my house. I built my nether portal and I had some copper around the edges as well. And yeah, it was time. I headed into the nether and this was my spawn. I built a little staircase down to the main Nether Waste biome, and this is where I was spawned, in the Nether Waste. And there was an epic, evil-looking balloon, which I like to call... Oh no, ghast, which I like to call balloons. Look at them. I wanted to go to the Nether to get some glowstone, and that's what I looked around for. While looking around, I zoomed in at a ghast's face. That is kind of cute. It's kind of fun. That's an achievement on Java as well. I done a little bit of ping pong with this ghast. I wanted to end him once and for all. And obviously, I'm a ping pong master. I won. Bang. After getting some glowstone in the Nether, I started dotting it around my house. I wanted to move my cats all near my treehouse so they will guard it from creepers. And that is what I did. And after all that, I went to the Nether trying to look for a Nether fortress, which, spoiler alert, it took me a long time. I did some digging in the Nether to try and find some new biomes. And yeah, just digging. Almost died to a bit of lava here, as you can see, but I was fine. I was wandering around Nether Wastes, thinking I would find a fortress soon, but I was wrong. Fortresses are just so rare. And a ghast started shooting at me. And I swear the arrows always go through the ghasts for some reason. This was quite bad. I was always on fire. I had to move away from the ghast quickly. Later on, I found one of my favourite biomes, the Warped Forest. Look at it. The ghast was trapped, so I wanted to kill it before it was a threat. And that is what I did. Goodbye, ghast. I went into the Warped Forest, and here I was. Beautiful place. I love this Warped Forest. They're one of the best biomes in the game. I did a little bit of bridging, and I carried on exploring the different biomes. Then I came across another Warped Forest, and I did kind of get a close call with an Enderman here, I'm pretty sure. As you can see, I was kind of scared here. Those Endermen really are scary, in the Nether and the end. And look, I thought I was going to die here. But I was fine. I decided to climb the trees and protect myself. I decided that I wanted to end the episode, and that was basically the end of episode 9. To start off episode 10, I carried on exploring the Warped Forest, looking for a fortress. I also found the Crimson Forest, and I also found a Bastion, but I didn't want to go near it because Bastions are super difficult, especially those Piglin Brutes. They actually hit harder than Vindicators, especially on Bedrock. That was just me walking around the Nether for an hour, trying to find Nether fortresses and fight ghasts. My luck was not looking good. Things were not looking good at all. I was digging, bridging. I wasn't bridging, but I was mostly digging, exploring everywhere I could. I just couldn't find a fortress. And there was ghasts, piglins, skeletons. I'm telling you, skeletons really pack a punch. But yeah, I was just walking around, and there was 2 skeletons on me right here. Literally. The skeletons just so OP. Found yet another Warped Forest. And angered another Enderman. And finally, I stopped being scared and started doing more bridging. And a Hoglin started chasing me. Stupid Hoglins. I had no choice but to bridge across a basalt delta. Those things are annoying. I started bridging, feeling very scared. I was just always looking around for ghasts, magma cubes, anything that could knock me off into the molten lava. But then I had the fright of my life. A ghast spawned, and I thought this was over. But I shot the ghast with a bow, and for some reason it was one shot. I must have hit him before, but then I was fine. My heart was in my throat then. Basically, still no luck. Still no luck. Magma cubes, ghasts. Ghasts are so annoying. I was just getting rained on fireballs by ghasts. They were just hitting me. Ghasts' aim are actually very good. My tutorial for all of you watching this video is to keep walking and keep avoiding as many mobs as you can, and you'll eventually find a fortress. Later on I started to do some more bridging, but then I ran out of time, so I had to end the episode. I'm telling you guys, always take my advice, always keep walking and never panic, and you will find your fortress. And little did I know, there was just a fortress right over that bridge. Okay guys, that was part 1. I have summarised 10 episodes. 10 episodes, guys. Last time in this Minecraft Survival Series 2 series, when I summarized 10 episodes, it was 40 minutes. So I've made it good time, 29 minutes. I don't have to show everything. So this is part 1. Part 2, I'm going to summarize the next 9 episodes of the series. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, so make sure you watch part 2 of the Minecraft summary of the 1.17 survival series. I'm telling you, this has been a hard video. Make sure you subscribe, please. And yeah, so it's time to summarize the rest of the 9 episodes. Peace out.